Welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Job. I'm Ron Worley.
And I'm Josh Fullenweider.
Fuck your job.
Guys, Ron Worley.
Josh Fullenweider.
Here again. Another week, and we're going to still talk about some things that our audience wants to see.
Yep, so we got some things off of Facebook, so we're just kind of working through the list.
Yeah.
I will say, now that you guys know that we'll respond to this sort of thing, if you've got more things that you want to see, shoot us a message.
Yeah, we like to talk about what you want to hear or talk about. We're talking about events and
surveys came up. Both customer events, customer satisfaction surveys, and then employee events and employee satisfaction surveys.
Yeah.
So
got lots of experience with those through retail. I honestly hated, so we had it on our receipts. They had the deal where you could go and take a survey, and then I'd get an email. And it was great when we got good surveys, but then we would get a bad one, even if it wasn't a full 5s down the row. But the really cool thing about surveys, you could do that, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a short survey. It's literally 3 questions.
Okay.
And it was, how was your service? Did you purchase? How was, I can't remember the last one, but it was 3 little questions. And they had this huge score based off of this deal. So and it was a 1 through 5 on each one.
Okay.
So based off of your number, you would get a score off of these 3 questions. And it was humbling as a business to see that we weren't just, because you think you're 100%. That customer's happy, that customer's happy, that customer's happy. But they're not always happy. They don't, So I think really customer surveys are good for getting back a hold of your customer. So if they leave and they had a bad experience, you're going to call them right away. Because bad experiences happen, and it doesn't have to be your own. It doesn't always have to be the fault of the business. You can call them right away, which gets them back in the store because you're going to fix their problem back in the store, back into your company. But it also keeps those reviews, your Google reviews, your reviews online. It keeps those higher because when you respond back to people and you try and fix the problem, that's a better review, and they're more apt to give you a better review online.
Okay.
The old adage is, I think it's, if you have a good experience in a store, you're going to tell 6 people. If you have a bad experience in a store, you're going to tell
20,
30,
who knows?
Everybody you can come in.
Yeah.
And now with Facebook and social media,
blast it out there.
Yeah.
You got 300 contacts. Wow. 300 people might see a negative.
Yeah, exactly. And I had a bad experience at a restaurant one time, and I literally left the drive-thru and was like, "Dude."
Right then.
Blowing it up, and then everybody started commenting, and they got some bad press out of it.
Yeah.
And one time, so this was handled the best I've ever been. I said something about Grease Monkey not having I can't remember what it was, but they didn't have my oil filter, I think. And my buddy, Ricky Juarez, is actually, I don't know, he's one of the corporate heads up there at Grease Monkey, and he responded back to me and handled it on the spot. And I felt like he did that so well. I just took my post down, like, okay.
Okay.
I feel like a dick.
I feel better.
Yeah. But he was able to respond to it and jump on it, and by him doing that, he probably saved, because it was within seconds.
Okay.
So nobody even really saw the post.
Okay.
So, I think it's highly engaging for you to. It's a great way to be engaged with your customer, but also it helps eliminate some of that.
Now, on the other side of it, employee surveys.
Yeah.
You're looking for more information than just how was your last month of working.
Okay, yeah.
So how? We've done. I know with some of the volunteer organizations, we've done some pretty in-depth surveys. Especially Alternative Homes for Youth has like a 20 question annual survey that they do, and it's I think done through SurveyMonkey, so it's all anonymous.
Yeah.
Which helps them to be honest with you about what you're doing. And
so we used to do I've done all kinds of surveys with the employees. We do 6-month reviews, and I'd have them survey me
Okay.
and their job. So how do you think it's going? And then I would comment on top of their surveys. So how do I think you're doing? And
Okay.
here's where we
So
match
you
up.
used it more as a review, not really a satisfaction.
That aspect, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I would do the 6-month reviews,
Okay.
an employee wants to know that you're actually giving a crap about them.
Okay.
And sometimes, I hardly ever just, you suck at this. That's not something, it's more of a constructive
Okay.
way to have a conversation about what's happening.
Yeah. I'm assuming if somebody sucked at their job, you'd be having a conversation more frequently than
Yeah, that
every
would
6
happen
months.
long before they got their review. So, but then we started doing reviews on our employees or surveys on our employees. We would base the surveys that the customer gave, and then we would have the employee do a survey on their job satisfaction, and then I would do a survey on the values that they were maintaining throughout the workday. So I literally had a 1 through 10 on how they performed through their sales process, how they would walk around with a clipboard. And I would look for keywords and things that they would say to people that represented our values.
Okay.
And that seemed to work the best. It made people nervous, but in the small store setting, was able to hear them from anywhere in the store, so it wasn't like I was up their butt or something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So the big thing that we did with Alternative Homes for Youth was we took the employees, because when we're on the board of the directors, your only employee is the executive director. You don't employ the rest of the staff.
Right.
So we used the employee satisfaction survey to help evaluate how our executive director, well, at that time we had a executive team, how they were doing and everything like that. So that was good feedback when you're kind of divorced from the
Yeah.
system, because
We don't know
we
the
weren't
day-to-day.
we weren't in there every day, and we were in there once a month, maybe twice a month.
Right.
And that was the only time we were getting any sort of interaction with the rest of the staff. So, especially in larger organizations, I can see the value of satisfaction surveys. Not just how is my team doing, but it's really a reflection on the management that's going on in the organization too. I was at another organization when I was working, and they had a survey that goes out, and if you think your staff doesn't talk about the survey, you're just living with your head up your butt.
They're worried about it.
Their first concern is that they're not anonymous, and you're going to be able to see who bashed who.
Right.
The second thing is they're going to talk about their answers with all their coworkers.
Right.
So we did this survey, and the management team came back and said, essentially, it was a 20-question survey, and there were probably 3 items that were positive that everybody could say, and pretty much everybody else bashed the rest of the organization on every other thing. They came back and told us about 3 good things and ignored everything else.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even address it. And so then, of course, now the staff's talking even more. Well, I thought, I didn't.
Right. Right.
I didn't give them good. Where'd they get these 3 things from?
Right.
So talking even more. So I think, especially if you're going to use that to give feedback to your organization, you got to be honest and give them all the feedback and be like,
Yeah.
there were a few good items, but overall we recognize that there are definitely some issues that we need to address. So let's address them. But don't just ignore a bad survey.
Right. And I think that's the hard thing for people to take criticism in business is those surveys. Most people bitch. It's hard to find someone who glorifies anything. They want
Right.
to bitch about it. This is the things that suck.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to, if you don't get your feelings hurt off of every little bad thing, because they're opportunities, not problems, right?
Well, and I kind of like the anonymous one from the management thing, because then you're not like, if you get a bad reviews from a few different people, or you can't approach them and ask them about
Right.
it. You've got to address this how all of it is affecting it,
Yep.
versus being like, well, that's just, they're in a bad mood because their dog got run over.
Right.
So
Right. That's true.
you're kind of forced to address it, and you can't discount it, I guess.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
and you'll have your bad apples. I know we looked at one survey, and for the most part, the results were positive. And then you could just see one line item of one person that just marked everything as negative as they could.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, they were either in a bad mood that day, or just a problem employee that was I think that person was, if I was told everything correctly, that person was probably gone before we ever even got the survey results.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And so that's a great way to weed people out too.
yes.
Which, yeah, you want your strongest team, so.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what else? So surveys helped us figure out who our customer was. Mm-hmm. So if you get a lot of the same reason why they're coming in, you can really attack that reason to bring them back in. So a customer survey was more than just seeing how your business was doing. It was actually we were able to tell the personality of the person coming in, and try and attract more of that personality.
Okay.
If you in real estate, we're looking for highly enthusiastic people that want to buy their home.
Yeah.
It's more than just wanting to buy your home. We're looking for a highly enthusiastic person, because that person doesn't beat you up on price. They don't. They're not a pain in the ass. They're quick. They buy, in and out. We make the fastest money possible.
Yeah.
Now, how do I find 10 more of that person?
10 more of that client type of person. Okay.
Gives you a little bit of direction as to where you should be taking your marketing to.
Right. Okay. So I'm not your ideal client because I want to go in and get the best
You were
deal.
a perfect client.
Well, when we bought our house,
Yeah.
I'm sure if we did other deals, you'd be like, God, this guy's nitpicking everything.
And so those types of people, and I don't, like, Erin is good at that stuff. She's good with those clients.
Okay.
I can handle it, but
Yeah.
it's.
No, when we go, and actually, typically when we have bought investment properties, we go in, we look at everything, and we make them an offer based on what we think the home is truly worth
Yes.
to us as an investor.
Right. Not on what they're asking.
And I'm not a negotiator. I don't want to go in and, if your house is for $200,000, listed for $200,000, I'm not going to go in and offer $150 because I think we'll settle at $175.
Right.
I'll offer you $170, because I know you're going to ask for something in return, and because most people are negotiators. So when I come up to $175, I'm done.
Right. Smart.
And that's it. That's as much negotiating as. But I'm not going to do $150. Oh, we want $180. Okay, well, I'll come up to $160.
Right.
It's
pointless.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just, here's my offer. It's fair to me.
Right.
If it's fair to you, you can accept it.
Right.
But
I like
anyway.
that. I like that way to negotiate. That's actually takes the
I don't want to screw
negotiation
people.
out of it.
I don't want to screw people.
Right.
So I've seen other people whose business model is to screw other people so that they get the most money. That's not me. Sorry, we're way off topic here.
We are. Yeah. It's all good.
We talked about surveys. Let's talk about events.
Events. Oh, my favorite. Well, so we do several events a year. Erin handles most of that because she's the A personality, dominant personality, and there was a time when I handled events, and it went quite well. So you've got different kinds of events. There's, if we're talking customers, we'd have 2 great big events a year.
Okay.
We tried to have one where, like, when you first open, you have a grand opening and you have, famous people come in and sign things, which we've done really well at those in the past. And then you have smaller ones once a year that all the customers want to come to. It's a smaller, like pumpkin picking.
Yeah.
What was it?
berry
Pumpkin?
picking.
Berry picking.
Berry
yeah.
picking, and we did pumpkin picking too, didn't we?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
not a lot of people come to that. It's a little less money to do it, but the exposure online is
Yeah.
everything. And what a cool idea, you know?
Yeah. It was unique. I'd never even considered that as an event.
Right. No one, yeah. And the people that came enjoyed it, had a good time, got some berries. But the people online were like, what the hell are they doing now?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, it sheds light on your company in different aspects.
Now
But-
you guys just did essentially a virtual event, which I thought was kind of unique.
Yeah.
And not truly virtual, but more like a social distancing event.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we did the free ice cream at Goober's
Yeah.
thing, and I think he said we had 90 or 100 people come in.
Over about 15 days or so?
Yeah, about 15 days. So it's
Okay.
inexpensive, but the really cool part is that we had those cutouts in there of ourselves, and when somebody came in, they took a picture with the cutout and they put
Yeah.
it online. So,
Yeah.
you know, it really was an event. We sent out, probably there might have been 1,000 we sent out tickets for
Yeah.
free stuff.
I know. I got 3 of them.
Yeah,
So-
there you go. So you know, you send them out, and so that was time consuming, and it felt like an event to us because we were doing all the work for an event. But for the people on their own, they didn't have to show up at a certain time and date. In this 15 days, you have to go and get your free ice cream over here.
So it could have gotten expensive for you if
Yeah.
1,000 people had gone through
Right.
that. That's a lot of ice cream to buy.
Right.
So you got roughly a 9 to 10% return on that.
Roughly. And
Or
I could be way off on
response
how
on
many
that.
we did, but
So that's actually a pretty good response because you physically mailed these to everybody.
right.
And honestly, we were not planning on using it. We just happened to have them with us, and we're in the area, and we're like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of the thought of, oh, that's neat when I got it in the mail. Plus, it was snail mail, which nobody does anymore.
Nobody does anymore. You know, the other thing is top of mind, keeping yourself top of mind, and whatever business you're in, any way that you can get them to open it up and look at it, whether it's email, snail mail, social media, whatever, get them to read your content, put that in their head, so that next time they're looking for a house, next time they're looking for a product, they're thinking of you.
Right.
You know, everybody thinks of GNC when they think about supplementation. Well, that's taking years of them pounding their name in your head.
Yeah.
You know,
all their emails and internet web
Right.
things, and then the prevalence of their stores. And I mean, I don't know if they were the first, but they definitely had the model of, we're going to be in every mall in America.
Right.
And you're going to, when malls were a big thing, you're going to walk past us once a week when
Yep.
you're at the mall.
Yep, exactly. Yep, and you know, with everything we do, there's different kinds of events. So, you know, we got those events. You got those smaller, quick hit events, and then you've got like a true customer appreciation event where every employee comes in and they invite all their people, and you invite all your people, and you try and pack the house.
Right.
And we've done some crazy ones there, petting zoos, and you know, a couple of thousand people show up.
The one I always liked was your ladies' night you did at Max
Right,
Monson.
another smaller one, but
And you did it every year, so people
right,
knew to expect it and knew to wear pink to it.
right,
And it was primarily for women, but I went to 1 or 2 of them. And as long as I wore something pink, I was allowed in the door. You had great sales, and you had other relevant vendors.
Right.
So I think you had somebody selling fitness apparel there one time,
Yep.
and I don't remember. Maybe a personal trainer or something there another time. I don't remember.
So the first time we did that, Josh, we had one person show up.
Oh yeah.
Very first year, I was like, we always do it in October because it's a slow time of year for the stores. So the very first October we did one, we had between 2 stores, we had one person show up.
Okay.
And then the next year, I think we ended up doing $2,000 between 2 stores.
Okay.
One store did hardly nothing, and the other one did almost, $1,500.
Okay.
But over time, you kept doing it at the same time every year. And then once we were able to really learn how to market that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think our last year here we did $9,000 just in Greeley,
Okay.
and then that didn't count the other stores.
Right.
So, you know, we would do fun things like for women, it's ladies' night. So
Yeah.
all week we talk about, hey, your man can't come.
Yeah.
You're gonna get massaged. We had Dove
Oh,
chocolates.
that's right. You had the chair massage people there.
Purse ladies and just like all the cool stuff in there. And by the way, products are this. It wasn't about the products for sale.
Yeah.
It was about coming to a cool ladies' night. But by the way, the products are on sale and this is a huge discount.
Yeah.
And you're able to load up for your man. So don't let him come in this week. You're gonna, you know,
Yeah.
he don't get the discount.
Yeah.
And it really just centered it around women. And boy, I think if you remember that one year, that last couple of years, we had a line.
Oh, it'd go all the way around the corner.
Yeah.
Like,
100 people standing
Yeah.
outside waiting to come in. So
because you'd start at what, 7 o'clock and
as
go
soon as
till
the
9.
doors closed, we'd start it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the guys inside working were dressed up in something cool. Like one year we were dressed up in Mexico stuff attire.
Okay.
And, so we'd have fake mustaches, which I don't think you can get away with anymore. But and then I think one year they all dressed as women and just tried to make it fun.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, you had the store decorated and it was
Yeah. Yeah, and
unique.
Unique. And when Aaron got on board with that, is having a woman in charge of that really helped out.
Well, and so Rebecca took me, because of course I knew what I wanted for product. So
Yeah.
I went with Rebecca to help pick product, and then she went and paid for it.
Right.
So, which was fine, but when we went, it was because we were part of the legs groups, all the legs group people kind of congregated together in the line.
Yeah.
And you're there with your friends, and it's fun, and it's not just you with other people that you don't really know. And we weren't the only ones to do that. There were groups of people.
Well, and I think you're nailing it. It was a way to get people to come in and have a good time without thinking about products.
Yes.
It changed the way we looked to them. We were fun, not products.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me, the leg groups is another event
That's true.
Erin and I each started. I had a male group, she had a female group. And our coaches used to, every Sunday we'd do legs. And our coaches, I'd go with my male coach, she'd go with her female coach, and it sucked really bad. And so Misery loves company, so we started inviting people to come with us.
Okay.
And pretty soon, before I had my very last knee operation where I had to take a couple years off from doing legs, Erin started to grow, we started to grow our group. So I'd take the men, I think you and I worked out together a few times doing that. And then she would take the women, and the Sunday leg group turned into this massive...
At one point, there'd be 30 people there.
Right.
It was just nuts.
Gyms wouldn't even let us like really be there because it was too much.
Yeah.
But it grew over time, and now it's still going 15 years later, 10 years later.
Yeah, I know. I
Aaron's
mean,
still doing it.
you guys stopped for a little while because all the gyms closed.
Right.
But you can't help
What do you
that.
do? Right. But you know what that did was it allowed, again, it was a group of people. So that those leg group people, you're part of that. Every single birthday party, every single dinner, every single sale, everything. We had a core group of 30 people that would support whatever we were doing.
Right.
And it was all based off of us giving them sweat equity every Sunday.
And even though you're not in the Max Muscle world anymore,
Right.
you're not doing the shows anymore, you still have the leg group going.
Yep.
And it's still, I still see it on your real estate page.
Right.
That's,
Now
you're
switched
still
over to real estate.
You're still using it as a marketing deal and getting your name out there. And if nothing else, just generating those social media posts, but it really has nothing to do with your core business anymore.
Right. Nothing. In fact, Erin just likes, she still does it. I do not. I take Sundays off from working out.
Except for paddleboard yoga.
Son of a bitch. But for Erin, it's a way to connect with her people because they've all become really good friends. And and it's fun because she's got clients new clients that will come and try it out because every girl wants a better looking butt. That's and that's what she focuses on.
Especially I can see with Erin, if you're moving to a new city, you want to meet people and people with similar interests. It's a great way to be like, oh, you're buying a house from me.
Yep.
Come to our leg group. You'll meet, I think 5 to 10 people right about now. You'll meet 5 to 10 mostly women at this point, will work out. You'll get to know a new gym that's in the area,
Yeah.
and 2, you'll get to know 5 to 10 people.
Yeah, it's a great way to build your community.
Yeah.
Your community supports you, and you know, as a business, as a person who's selling real estate or anything that's personalized like that, it's just a way to keep people locked in. Give back to them, they give back to you. It's just,
Yeah. We don't work out with you anymore because it's too far and we're lazy.
and it's freaking Sunday, man. It's time to take a day off. Except for paddleboarding.
But we did that for probably 4 or 5 years, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
With you guys, so
Man, I had fun doing that too. It was fun.
yeah.
I digress.
Now we just need to get more people to do paddleboard yoga.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's got any more paddleboards.
I don't think
left.
she does. I don't know. I love Rachel to death. That is a lot of fun, really, to do once a month. But
Well, we've been doing 2 weeks in a row, but when we took that week off, that one between the first and the second time was kind of nice, like every other week.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I need it.
See, but the thing of it is, in a month or 2, we're not going to be able to do it at all
Oh, that's true.
because it's going to be cold.
Good point. I'll shut up because I go there and I'm never going again. I was freezing the last time we fell in. Man, freezing cold.
So that's customer events. Now I know you used to do kind of some neat employee events too with Max Muscle.
Yeah, so your typical Christmas event was always fun. We would do something huge there, but on a smaller note, we would try and take people. We'd go out and eat out. Or
Yeah, you called it family night or something.
family night. Yeah. So once a month, we would take all of the stores, all 4 of them, and we'd go have a dinner. And that's where I would talk. We'd have a 10-minute meeting.
Okay.
While everybody ordered, in between food and order, I would do that, and then while we're eating, it was time just to have fun.
Okay.
And most people, I don't know if I can't tell you if they liked it or not, but
Okay.
it seemed to work. Everybody showed up. Everybody had their little tudes on and had a good time, and it was cool.
Yeah. Mandatory or was it not?
Mandatory voluntary. So,
Okay.
if you didn't show up, you were the only one that didn't show up. And really, we were able to see the ones that were serious about their job, because we had part-timers that had lives. Like, we had one gal, I won't say her name, Megan. She worked full-time, had a child, and was single at one point. And she'd have to bring her daughter if she came.
Okay.
And there was a lot of times she just couldn't come because of that schedule. And
Okay.
so we get that.
Yeah.
But our main managers that were working the stores all day long, I'm sure they did not like the extra 2 hours at night.
Yeah.
Once a month, but it was.
But at least they got a meal out of it.
Right. They
Yeah.
got a meal. They got a great meal.
Yeah.
I used to do once a quarter. I would have breakfast too. So we'd get up before the store opened.
Okay.
And go have coffee, and it was strictly managers, and it was, let's go over business.
Okay.
Trying to keep, when you have 4 stores, it was trying to keep us all in a hub. Mm-hmm. What does this manager think? What does that manager think? Get a consensus together.
Okay.
How's that work? It's when you're brainstorming, like brains help brains. Like,
Okay. So, I mean, a lot of places do the almost mandatory Christmas party.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun. I've gone to several, but they're nothing unique. You get them just about anywhere you go.
Right.
I mean, even when I was working at an ice cream store, I think they would bring a pizza in on Christmas Eve or something.
Something special.
Yeah, you're working them, and it's not a hugely profitable enterprise, so they're not catering out
Yep.
all 30 employees or whatever, but they're bringing pizza in the day before, and if people stopped in, they could have some.
Yep.
But all the people working had some, so it's fun.
Yeah.
But I really like the idea of, okay, we're going to have dinner together to get everybody, allow you to see everybody that you actually work with, because I'm sure you had a lot of people who would get off at noon and another person come in at 3 in
Right.
the afternoon, and they never
Right.
interacted.
Right.
So
Yep, absolutely. Well, and when we had the brokerage, there wasn't a lot. You could tell the difference. There wasn't a whole lot of. we would have our weekly meetings as the partners. That we really didn't need them because we talked all week anyways. But when you have employees, I think it's important to have these. So for me, it was always about taking the meeting out of the meeting.
Okay.
Comfortable surroundings, let people chill, and now let's talk. Let's hear what you really have to say.
Yeah.
You know.
Now with the brokerage, you guys have a lot of trainings, which also, so they're getting some unique experiences through
Right.
that too, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And the same people show up to that show up to everything else, and now I don't show up to any of it. So you know, it based on your.
When's the
skill
last time
level.
you went to the office?
Oh no, I go at least once every couple of weeks. and
Okay.
Sometimes I have to give checks and things like that too.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
pop in, pop out.
Yeah.
I say hi to Fran and a couple of people I like there, and then I leave.
Okay, because I know you've obviously got your bail bonds office that
Yes.
you do most of your work at.
Most everything happens out of there.
Yeah. So
Real estate included. That's what. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
you're
great
ju-
office.
it is, and you're getting a steal on rent. I can't
Yeah.
believe you're getting it for that.
I know. Don't say that too loud. Dave might be watching.
He won't watch. But
Yeah.
I think you've got a nice big office there, so I don't see why you wouldn't use it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different being in a bail bonds office. People get a little spooked by it, but
Yeah, I will say so. Right after the quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, we were shooting episodes at
Yeah.
your office, and I see this big burly guy with a mask on, like one of those blue handkerchief masks
Yeah.
type of things. And I kind of spaced out that everybody's wearing masks right now, and he's coming in the door of your place. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna get shot.
what you have to remember with bail bonds is that people respect and love me because I'm their last line of getting the hell out of jail.
Okay. I was like,
I've
this
never
is
been
somebody that Ron told no to, and he
Right.
didn't bail out his cousin, and he's gonna get shot.
Yeah, it's scary at times. But
Just because blue's one of the gang colors in
Yeah.
Greeley, so I'm like, oh fuck.
that's funny. Now, you notice I offered it to Affy, and it would be a good office for us to meet in.
Yeah, it's a nice big office, and
Yeah.
especially with your golf there. We could.
Oh, I took that out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I got a jail cell in there now, where I do a podcast room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, we better finish this up. So.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Join us on Facebook at The Jobless Legion or subscribe to our YouTube channel and like, comment, and share.
So that we can get the message out to aspiring entrepreneurs just like you.
Thank you.